Hi, welcome to this video series. This is video 1 in terms of my simple project planning video series. What I am doing with this is kind of giving you, the person who doesn't necessarily have the title of project manager, but all the responsibilities of project manager have been thrust on you. Whether that's because you are a team lead and this is the next step that you're going to be logically taking in your career, or whether you are an office manager who is kind of the jack of all trades and the go to person in your office, or whether you are an administrative professional who has a project that gets assigned to them by your supervisor. Um, what I want to do is to give you the benefit of my experience and what I've learned over the years and help you to take your projects and make them successful and make them run as smoothly and as easily as possible so you don't have to do that stressing. Um, in my career, little background on me, I started out as a team member and then moved into a team lead position, into a manager position, took on more project manager roles in um, a, another position, and then kind of created that role for myself as project manager. And as a result, I started learning first by trial and error, and then fortunately came across the whole idea of project management and the principles and started implementing those because realizing that they really, really make sense and they are a really good foundation to get anything done. So if you have not had the opportunity to check out other resources for project management principles, go ahead and do that. What I'll do is I will go ahead and on my webpage where you're watching this video, I will provide a set of links that I think are absolutely amazing, as well as some downloads of handouts and things that we've got today and throughout the project. So where we're going to start is I'm going to give you a few definitions of that are used in project management and in the project ecosphere, because one of the best ways to really understand each other and to grow is to have a shared vocabulary and a shared knowledge base between us. The other thing is, this is going to be provided as a handout for you, along with some other things that I might not touch on, but that are going to be coming up in the videos to come. Like I said, this is a series, so each subsequent video is going to touch on a different part of project planning and project management. First, what I'd like to talk about is the idea of the project itself. Now, you may already know what a project is, but in kind of technical terms, what I'm talking about when I'm mentioning project is it is a unique undertaking that has a specific time frame that is falling outside the boundaries of your regular duties and routine work, or outside of the boundaries of what normally happens in the organization. Now, this might be a project like revising your company's HR manuals, or it might be developing a social media campaign to tell your followers about a new service that your organization is offering, or perhaps trying to jump into a new market segment. Um, but regardless, these are unique undertakings that require their own form of management and their own form of tracking in order to get it done. Now, with project management, there are several phases to it. There is project initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, controlling, and closing. And initiation is basically where you get everything together to pretty much start up the project. It gives you all of your high level information and kind of gives you your marching orders, more or less. The plan is what you're going to come up with, and that is how you're going to get the project done, what needs to be done, what resources you're looking for, blah, blah, blah. There's project execution, which is pretty self explanatory. Monitoring and controlling, which, when you have that plan, the monitoring and controlling is what you are going to go back into that plan and look at and make sure that your project is being done according to the plan, that all of your checklists are being checked off and everything. Um, and then there is project closing. That is making sure that everything is done appropriately, done to the plan, done to the scope, and that it's moving on to the next phase or the next steps, or the project is closing out. That you have something that is done. Um, Within this, there are so many different little pieces and things that will be going on in subsequent videos. The other things I'd like to talk about really quickly are your constraints. In project management, you look at three constraints, which are time, cost, quality. Because no one's going to step in and say, "Here, I've got this project for you. Get it done whenever you can. Don't really care how it turns out, and spend as much money as you want on it." So there's always going to be those three things that are constraining your project. They are keeping you from being able to do whatever you want to do. And you have to figure out kind of what is your most important constraint. What is the thing that is driving that, among other things, in your project in order to be able to bring that thing in for its successful completion. Um, there's also the idea of deliverables in project management. Deliverables are any assets that you are actually creating that are going to be a part of your project. They may be a deliverable that turns into something later on in the project, or it may be the culmination of everything that you've done. It may be all of those social posts and your tracking metrics and everything. It may be your HR processes book, as I'd mentioned before. But whatever it is, those are considered deliverables. Um, there's also the idea of, and this is the last thing that I'm going to put into this video, the idea of stakeholders, because we're going to be talking about stakeholders. I'm going to be mentioning them a lot. Stakeholders are anybody inside or outside your organization who has a stake or who has an interest in that project. That might be the person who assigned it to you. That might be the person who assigned it to them. Your project sponsor. It might be any functional managers that you need to deal with. It might be any of your team members that you need to get the project done. It might be you. But these are your stakeholders. And like I said, what I'm going to do is provide you with a handout that you'll be able to download, and we will go ahead and start using this common framework and this common vocabulary as we get into the rest of the project process. And I hope you stick around, hope you click into the next one, which is going to be project initiation. Thanks.